This conference will now be recorded.
And welcome everyone to our Renville County HRA EDA Lunch and Learn. We do this as a standing event, generally the second to. Let me start over. It's a standing event on the second Wednesday of every month over the noon hour. Every month, a different topic, a different presenter. We occasionally take a holiday over the summer and maybe around holidays or things like that. But pretty much every month we do this again, kind of a focus on businesses, some type of a business spin generally is our theme. So, welcome everyone to our Renville County HRA EDA Lunch and Learn. Just to let you know, to let everyone know that this event is being recorded. We had contacted by several folks saying, "Hey, I'd love to go, but I've got another meeting, I've got another event happening. Do you tape this?" And yes, all of these get recorded. They're all on our website, renvillecountymn.com. So know that you can go back and watch this or any other topic that we've done over the past several years online at your convenience. Uh, Today, our topic is going to be best practices for posting job openings to social media. We know that workforce is extremely tight, especially for higher skilled and higher specialized jobs. So, some ideas on how do we attract and retain the talent that we're so in need for our local businesses. So, with that, we've got a slight change in our speaker today. Today, we're going to be chatting with Katie Goodthunder. She's with Vantage Point Marketing. And we'll turn it over to you, Katie. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. That's where we are at right now. Everyone, I'm Katie Goodthunder. I work with Vantage Point Marketing. I have been here for 5 years now already as a client manager. So I work a little bit more day to day on some of the deeper dive projects. My counterpart, Jessica, who is going to present today, got sick over the night. So bear with me as I try to walk through her slides. Her and I work hand in hand with certain aspects of these things, so hopefully your questions won't be too difficult to answer at the end. So we're going to go over the best practices, as mentioned, for job postings, but we're going to do a deeper dive into social media and some of the ins and outs beyond just job postings, because you can't just post job postings for people to see everything. So going into social media strategy. Do you, as a business, have a social media strategy? Think of the strategy as a foundation for a successful marketing plan. At Vantage Point, we really do go in and we kind of look at the company as a whole and take it as a roadmap into what you're going to be doing as far as your marketing strategy as a whole, and social media is just part of that strategy. So looking at the platforms that you're currently on, what do you usually use on a regular basis, posting consistency, these things matter. So if you only post when you have a job opening and then you don't post other than that, is your audience actually going to see it? We're seeing that that's not the case. So also keeping in mind your target market. Who is your target market for the different social media platforms that you're using? What job are you hiring for? Uh, to many of us, it may be a no-brainer, but to some, it's not. So remembering that you can't post a fast food restaurant type job posting on LinkedIn. They're not, your right audience is not going to see that. We have a rule we like to call at Vantage Point, the 80-20 rule, reminding people that it has to be 20% business and 80% fun or not sales driven to really drive home your messages and to really get an engaging audience. So what this means is including things about employee culture, benefits, community engagement. What do you do that makes you different as a company? Employment features and celebrations, different departments and aspects of your business. Find the people that fit your business. And we like to say, if you're just posting the job postings and you're not including these types of posts, then you might not find your right fit. You want somebody that does enjoy the company culture. If on Fridays you have casual Fridays, do a silly post about it. It might sound silly saying it out loud, but these kind of things make people feel like, oh, okay, well, Fridays were casual. It's great. Or, I'm really putting myself on the spot as I'm trying to say these, but things that make you different and unique. These are the things that make people attracted to a company and want to work there. So as we go into different examples, we helped with the daycare that was needing help hiring teachers. So some of these different 80/20 posts, the 80% of the post, one of them is they got new playground equipment. The other one is they had a fire truck come and visit. The other one was a staff spotlight. So right there, you're showing someone who would potentially be a teacher, part of the culture. So you're showing them the new equipment that's there. You're showing them that you get involved in the community. These are all aspects of what someone might want to be a part of and why they might want to join the team. An example for a local co-op that's hiring, uh, going and celebrating the current employee anniversaries, talking about different pieces that they get involved in the community and donating to different organizations. And the last is kind of getting the children in the community involved. They had a coloring contest, and so really just encouraging that connection with the community and really showing the culture behind the company and not just, hey, we're hiring all of the time. Here is part of our culture. Here we have people that enjoy our company so much that they've been here for 40 plus years. See why they've been here for 40 plus years and kind of show the behind the scenes so that if somebody has never heard of this company or has an interest in working for the company, it really drives home why should they apply for these opening positions. So we'll dig deeper into posting about jobs. So posting to social media 101. A lot of these are basics. These are things that you can dig back up into and check out my lovely presentation afterwards, just to really drive home some of these things though. Read out loud the text, the captions before you put them on social media. It sounds silly, but the amount of times that you could catch grammar issues, spelling issues just by reading it out loud, it helps. There are many times where we see certain things where it's like, if you would have just read that out loud, you would have prevented some of these issues. Again, I said spell check. Think about the different times you're posting. Uh, myself, I am a person that loses track of my phone from 5:30 to 8 because I have small children at home. If you're going to post something at 7 o'clock, the likeliness of me seeing it is slim to none. Uh, if I'm part of your target market, something to keep in mind. Uh, some of the social media aspects on the back end of things will help you with that. They will literally tell you what time the audience is on there. Take that with a grain of salt because depending on how active your audience is, it might tell you 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So play around with it a little bit, see what times work better, which posts at certain times get a little bit more engagement. We encourage you not to post more than once a day. The caveat to that is if you have a lot of content to share and a lot of information to get out there, spreading them out, doing one in the morning and doing one later on in the evening. That way that your two posts are actually not competing against each other. The algorithms of social media. Do not just post text. You got to post an image or a video to go along with it. People, Facebook in particular, has shown that they are not great about showing posts that do not have imagery. Make sure you have call to actions. If you're not telling people to apply to the jobs when you post them, that's not helpful. Making sure that you give them a link that goes directly to the job posting and not just to the careers page, unless the action is for them to check out all of the career listings we have right now. Make sure that you react to people and the comments and make sure that you're telling them, thank you for encouraging us. If you're excited that they had the firefighters come to the teacher day or what have you. You responding back, A, helps algorithms, and B, it also helps with showing and encouraging people to comment back. Don't go crazy with emojis. I feel like that's hopefully a no-brainer, but we have seen a lot of people that do similar to what we did with the slide, just to kind of drive the point. You can have some, but again, don't go crazy. All caps is usually taken off as people thinking that you're yelling at them. So we do not encourage all caps. Keep the post short. unless you're on things like LinkedIn, sometimes those posts for the audience that LinkedIn has, you can get away with a little bit longer of a post. But then you kind of go into the separate topic of tailoring your posts to the different platforms. So something to keep in mind.
Question
Yes,
on this, is hashtagging a thing still, or is that
a lot of the platforms are going away from it.
that's what I
So
thought. Okay.
so we are hardly doing them. And honestly, from the hashtag perspective, even the current today suggestion, if you're going to do a hashtag, is to limit it to two. So I remember the days of the long paragraphs, especially on Instagram, of just hashtags. They're kind of going away from that now, especially with the lovely AI technology that is helping pull up different posts that have the key terms in them. And people know the difference between genuine and self-taken photos and store-bought, your uh, imagery that you can get online. So don't use the stock images as much if you can. And I know that that's difficult in certain industries. We definitely know that's difficult. We have certain clients that stock imagery is all we have. So making sure that you kind of play a balance with that, even creating some kind of graphic that doesn't have any imagery and trying to make or choose a stock image that is as genuine as possible. Even just snapping a photo of your staff. People love to see the people behind the organization. So showing them those images, it just helps with your engagement. So where are you sending them? Going back to the call to action, making sure that you have website links to your posts and really driving home where they're going. So common problem that we see when people post things for their website, they know that they want somebody to go to their website. So they do a check us out and they send them to their home page. But you have to dig deeper. What is the point of that post? Is the point of that post for them to check out your services? Is the point of it to apply for a job? Is it to learn about something that you wrote a blog about? Send them to those places. Don't just send them to the homepage, because 9 times out of 10, the point is not to get them on the homepage, it's to get them to learn something on your website. I'm just reading through some of the slide, making sure I'm getting all of the points. Jessica kind of dug in a little bit more about application questions and making sure that the application is as simple as possible. An example that she has the screenshots for is one where the application was really rough and it was not fillable online. So you have a social media post that says, check this out, and then they go on their mobile devices to fill it out, except that it's not digital. So now you've created a barrier. So something to keep in mind is, if you are creating a social media post about this, try and think about the process from someone else. Have someone else go in and check it out and see how easy it is, and make sure that, again, if you're, another example she gives is, if you are a tech savvy business and you're asking them to call in or to get a paper application, that's creating a barrier there too. And I just saw a chat come up and I don't know how to see the chats. So I might pull in.
I can read it to you.
Please and thank you.
Yep, it says we have someone here that does professional photography on the side, and we had her take pictures of our production team members that were working, and those are a big hit versus online photos.
100%. There's so many reasons. It's because those are the people that are working for the organization. Those are authentic pictures to your organization. So somebody isn't going to see the same hard hat photo 5 times because it was taken from different people as a stock imagery. Um, that's awesome. I would encourage you to keep doing stuff like that. And then take note and research This I don't have much background in because it just became a law in January, but something to keep in mind is that if you're doing job postings and you have 30 or more employees, you are now required to have a minimum and maximum annual salary or hourly range of compensation, as well as a general description of all the benefits and the other compensation. I don't know who's the actual person that's going to tell you that you're not following the law with this, but something that we like to just keep a note for those that have 30 or more employees. This is now a law that's in
Oh,
effect. So,
this is Melissa from Schult. So another thing with that we found out is that with that salary posting is whatever you post as the minimum is the minimum you can pay them, and the maximum that you post would have to be the maximum. And if you go over that maximum, you get audited and they catch that. That's like a big deal. So you can't pay them more than or less than what you have posted.
interesting. Okay, so yeah, so something to keep in mind. We have clients who this impacts, and so making sure that you're doing this. And again, feel free to reach out to us at Vantage Point if you have any questions. Otherwise, these slides are to reference. Some example of job postings. Again, creating imagery that's interesting for people to look at. A lot of times with job postings, you just see the text and you don't see anything of imagery. And when it comes to especially Facebook, even LinkedIn to a certain degree, it likes imagery. So it will take those posts and make people see them more than a post without. So this is an example of a daycare looking for a cook, the co-op looking for the agronomy operations manager. This is for Minnesota Ag in the Classroom. They were looking for farm camp director. So another thing to think about is what is something that person that you ideally would want in this position. What imagery would pull them in? What would make them, I'm interested in what this is. So we like to go and spy on who we're doing the presentation for. Normally, we like to go and pick one of you. So like Melissa, we would have picked you and dug into Schult to see how you're doing. But since people don't register for this, we decided to spy on Randallville County and see how they were doing. The posts are great. They include graphics. There are call to actions. So right there, you already hit two places that a lot of people miss. Sending to website, it's great. The website details have everything that you need, so props to you for following all those things. Some of the other posts include employee milestones, so that's wonderful. To take things to the next level, we would encourage including a couple benefits in the post, going and liking what other people share, whether it be a comment or whether it be a post of somebody that's sharing and tagging you. And then showing more pictures of current employees, because as it's been mentioned during this lunch and learn, people enjoy seeing the people behind the organization. And I know it sometimes can feel weird, right? But literally going on your phone and taking a picture of somebody at a desk, and you always see Katie at the front desk. So great, now here's a picture of Katie at the front desk, and now it makes you resonate a little bit more with that business and the person and people behind it. Because at the end of the day, you want your outsides to match your insides. And so if you are using stock imagery and they never get to see who the person behind the organization is, it makes them not feel the connection that potentially they would for a future job posting. We're going to dabble a little bit in here. This is not my area of specialty. Jessica is much better at this, but I will give you the information that she's provided me. So the target Meta advertising, so Meta again is Facebook and Instagram's overall arching umbrella. If you could use a small campaign budget to reach a target group of audiences. So ads can be targeted to employment, age, location, so use specific cities or the mileage around the area. Interest topics include exclusions, try it out for a small budget. Now, I want to say a small budget is around $100 to or $250 over a 2-week period. Small budgets used to be 20 bucks. It's no longer that way. You're not going to get that far. So just want to put that out, that small for social media advertising is around that. And the nice thing too about Facebook is that it will tell you, this ad is looking great. You are targeting the right people. There is no suggested changes. If it's a couple of days of the ad running, it will start to tell you, oh, your title might need a little bit of help, or your imagery isn't really catching people. And so you can go back in and edit these things. Something that's new that I didn't know that Jessica helped me learn. And then, did you know that LinkedIn offers one free job posting? So before you post a job, is this a professional position? Is this your target audience? Are you active on LinkedIn? These are things to keep in mind. Does your business have a LinkedIn profile? If it has a LinkedIn profile and it is your target audience, because again, there are certain groups that are not on LinkedIn, so you're not going to find them that way. But if you go into your account and you go down, there is the job posting, and you can click on it and you can create it. I do want to give you the caveat that, like for me as a client manager for other small businesses in the area, if I go and I post the job, it will say that it is from Katie Good Thunder. It's not going to say that it is from blank organization. So something to keep in mind as you may or may not explore that option. Engagement, encouraging engagement. One of the easiest ways to encourage engagement is to encourage your current workforce. They are your best sales force. So having them like, share, comment your posts makes a big impact. And it sounds silly, but it works. We can go back and we have clients who their family members will share their posts. Those posts are the ones that explode. It's because you're getting more eyes on it. And as soon as you get more eyes on a post, then Facebook decides, hey, this might be relevant to Rhonda, so I'm going to send it to her. Or, hey, this might be interested to Raven, so we'll make sure that she sees it on her profile. But you wouldn't have seen that unless somebody else shared it to increase the engagement. And there's nothing wrong with incentivizing your employees. We always, a little bit of a competition, right? Create a random drawing for employees who share the job opening. It doesn't have to be cash. Remember, you have the random mugs, hats, what have you. Next level, you could create an employee referral program. It's a great way to influence the people that they might want to work with or that they think would be a good fit for the position. Questions? I ran through it super fast, but I'm
Questions for Katie? Well, maybe I'll start. This is Jordan. Can you give us a success story, something somebody tried and really had some good luck with?
The first success story that I have that comes off the top of my head is that we've been working a little bit with some different local daycares, just because you have all of the people in your organization have different roles, and all of a sudden now you don't have a teacher, and now you have to try and fill the position. So with the daycare, they didn't have a social media presence and their website was really rough. So we went in and helped them with the website and went and kind of helped them create different graphics and things. And that was the example that we gave with the cook. So while we were helping them with these things, they had lost their cook. So now they were sharing the culture posts, and they went from not having any social presence to now they filled the position and they have a backup for a teacher, what would we call a substitute teacher. So that's exciting for them because they had a waiting list for students, but they did not have the staff. And for them, sharing what was happening inside the walls of their daycare was what made people want to come and work. So remembering to do that.
Awesome.
I have a
Thank you.
question. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying thanks. Go ahead, Rhonda.
I have a question, and maybe you touched on this. I'm sorry. But when you have multiple job postings, is it better to combine in one, in separate? How often? Does it look messy or?
So it all depends person by person. The first question I have is whether or not your job listings is on one page. Is it on one page or do they have to go to different places?
On our website?
Yes, on your website.
Yes, one page. It's just under our careers.
So what we have found is it's helpful to just have one post and to list all of the different positions and then send them to that one page, and then they can find a good fit, and encouraging people to share that one post. That way you're not just advertising the marketing position, but you're also advertising the operations position that open, and then the word gets out.
So basically, you would just post like, okay, marketing, and then their job range or pay, and then the next one, and then their range, next one, their range. Or can you just link them back to our website with the pay range on that? Or does it have to be on a social media post as well?
That's something I'm still learning, quite frankly.
Okay.
I'm not certain on that. I know
Okay.
that it has to be listed, so a sharing, I don't know if you'd get away with even just saying that the pay range and compensation and benefits are all listed on the website to learn more. So then they
Okay.
know that that's where you would find it. Because I think what the problem with that particular law is that there was no sharing beforehand. There was no requirement that you had to share any of that information. It was just that here's the posting. So if
Mhm.
they can find the information on the website, I don't 100% quote me, but from my understanding of the law, that would suffice.
Okay.
As long as they know where to find it and they know that I click this and it brings me right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else have any other questions?
Other questions for Katie? Going once. Going twice. All right. And if folks have other questions, I see Katie's got her website on the screen right now. Feel free to go ahead and reach out to her. And thank you, Katie, for presenting today on behalf of Vantage Point Marketing Consultants. We appreciate it very much. You did an awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm going to have to learn more about that law because now I myself am interested.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for joining us on our Renville County HRA EDA Lunch and Learn. We do this monthly, the second Wednesday of the month over the noon hour in an online format, a different topic, a different speaker every month. So thanks again for that. Anything we can do for you, feel free. Most of you are on my email distribution list or know where to find us at the Renville County Government Services Center. Happy to do whatever we can to help you out. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and stay warm.
Thank you.